So let's start with a small demonstration. If you can stand up just for a short while, we're not doing a whole exercise, just really for a minute or so. And if you can spread your legs and your hands. So when we are standing tall, yes, proud, confident, when we spread our arms to the world and our heart is open, when our legs are standing stable on the ground, we are actually becoming a star. So can you see that you are a star? And all you need to do is just spread out, stand tall, be confident. Yes. And you are already a star. And then much is possible. I don't know who of you knows about my astrological cards, but this is card number 5. And it talks about the human possibility to really be fully alive, aligned, balanced, and how this radiates something unbelievable to the world. And this is the 5th house in astrology. I won't go into lots of explanations, but it has to do with self-expression. It also has to do with arts, and it has to do with leadership. So it's all interconnected. I'm talking about leadership, yes, of a new kind. Yes, imagine instead of telling people what to do, what will happen if we will just do what we love to do, express ourselves fully, radiate that, and as Corona, it will become contagious. Okay, affect other people. Yeah, the idea is that by seeing someone do what she loves to do and giving us all so much inspiration, I think it leads us naturally, yes, to understand that if we find our own passion and we express that first to ourselves and then to the world, we can really create a change in the state of other people. And inspiration, yes, inspiration is that someone is bright, and that helps bring out the brightness from other people, whatever that brightness may be. What I want to do is to explain today a bit more about the sun in astrology, and maybe to do an exercise that will help us even in the gloomy days to connect to the sun quality. Okay, and the sun, for those who don't know, all the stars that we see in the skies with our eyes are actually suns. And our sun is a star. Some people don't know that, but our sun is our own private star. And the difference between a star and a planet is that a star has its ongoing nuclear radiating radioactive core that always generates energy. And this is why we see them from the distance, yes, of light years away, like milliards of kilometers away, because they have something in them that is always generating energy. And when we want to connect to the sun or star quality in us, this is the biggest clue of how to do that, how to be self-generating of our energy. Okay. And I think that these days with the corona and all really show us that if we are dependent on something else, if there is something else that we need, if we're we think that something else will help us, if if we're dependent on other people, on consuming something, going somewhere, anything that we're dependent on doesn't work. We can't. So these days especially, we need to learn how to generate this power, this radiating brightness, this inspiration, this fun, energy, giving, radiation from within. Yes, which in my language will be how to become sun or how to become star. Okay, during these days. And as we saw, when we do that, we are also very, very inspiring to other people, because stars or suns, they have some unique things in them. Our sun is so active that it holds the whole solar system. And all we see around us on planet Earth comes from the power of the sun, literally. Okay, everything. All the plants, and then the animals that eat the plants, and everything around us, yes, is life given by the sun's inspiration. And if we go back to our situation, if we now take the time to become suns, and you might say, no, we're in survival mode, we need to do all sorts of things. Yes, but if you don't take the time to reconnect to your inspiration and to your brightness and the things that you love to do, yes, then you won't be able to hold the whole family that you need to hold. As above, so below. In order to hold the house, hold the family, yes, hold the situation around us, we really, really, really need to take the time now and to do what we love to do, to take the time to find our own inspiration, to take the time to be in our own center as well, yes, as the sun is the center of its being, and not to think that it's selfish at all, because when we do that, then we can give life to everything around us. Then we are not carried away by other things, but know how to hold our center. Then other people can really benefit from us. So these are really the qualities of the sun. And there is another level to that, that when we are in our sun level, star level, we will also start to recognize other stars and be in touch with other inspiring people. But this is a whole other thing. I really believe that what we do affects the universe. First, it affects our immediate surrounding. This is for sure. If we are in well-being, our children are in well-being. This is for sure. Then it affects our grander surrounding. Everything good that we put out there in the form of energy, it is available for people who are seeking it now. So if we do even good things for ourselves, if we just keep our own balance these days, whatever good is happening, yes, it's like imagining that, I wanted to get upset, but I managed it, and I created a little bubble of calmness instead of getting upset, okay? And this bubble now goes out to the world, and calmness is now in the world, and it's more possible for other people to connect to it. And we know it for sure from the other side, that there is so much panic now, so much stress, and how it is easy to connect to it just because there is so much out of it here, okay, in the world now. So we're here to do the other thing, hopefully, which is by our very, very little deeds to enhance the goodness during this time. Start with, let's have a few minutes of each one writing down something, and I'll explain what. So the secret of the sun, okay, is that it has in it its own generating core, that it's always generating its energy. And if we want to become like suns, which means to be bright with ourselves, to be able to hold the ecology around us, our surroundings, to be centered, to connect to other spots of light around the world, then we really need to start by realizing what it is that will make us tick. And my question for you is, or the exercise is just to write down, we're in a we're in a spaceship now. You remember Star Trek and the nuclear generator, and then if it's off, it's horrible, and when it's on, you can do quantum leaps and so on. So there is a part in us that is this nuclear reactor, okay? And for everyone, different fuels make it tick, and different things make it go and spark. You know, for some person it can be working in the garden, it can be have drawing, it can be helping other people, okay? So take a few minutes to see what is it for you that will make your nuclear core active, not reactive. What will make your inner nuclear core active? What is that inspires you? What it is that if you do it once a day, once a week, it will generate energy? What can't you stop talking about, that it's so inspiring? And please write down what will make your inner core active. What is making your inner core active? What are you passionate about? What are you radiating to the world when you're at your best? Okay, so we'll take a few minutes doing that. thing is that these days we really need to put ourselves in that place. Most of humanity is not there now. And this is why we really need to take the time now, when we are aware, when we are bright, when we are in good company, yes, when we are giving it time, when all the other things of life is pushed aside and we're here for us and our personal development, and to realize what it is that will bring us there when we are not there. So this is why it's very, very important to realize what it is, yes, what it is that makes us be in that state. Because these days we can't trust luck, yes, for putting us there. But there's so much more to say about that. And it is amazing that the word confusion, yes, that we are, the world now is in a state of confusion. It can be very frightening, but maybe it's an amazing opportunity to be with the fusion. So it's really important. And also another thing about confusion and how we're handling our energies, because usually when I talk about the sun, it comes after explaining that there are 3 levels of development: the moon, the planet, and the sun. And today it felt very right to just jump into the sun because we were in that amazing state. But I really want to emphasize that as above, so below. Yes, when you look at the course of how things are in our solar system and in nature, it tells us a lot about ourselves. And that there are 3 levels of development. We started with the highest. The highest is the sun. We're in the center of everything. We give life, we give energy to everything. It makes us in our center. It allows us to hold an ecology around us. But actually, it's a very, very, very high level. Yes. And most of life is in the area of the planet. All planets, what they do is revolve around the sun. So revolving around the same thing that gives you energy, which is also beautiful and also very, very important, right? Because now we're all here gathering around something that gives us energy, which is our weekly or bi-weekly meeting. Yes, we're revolving around that. It's only 2 hours. It's very concentrated, okay? But taking from that, we as planet Earth can actually now go into our lives and really live it, be with it, and create with it amazing things. So from the high content, sometimes we don't need much. We just need to take a sip out of it. And most of our lives, yes, we're in the planet level of doing the things that we are doing in our daily lives, yes, with the high content that from time to time we are very, very lucky to meet. And so this would be interacting with very high forces or with new knowledge or with something very, very inspiring. And this, we can't hold that level sometimes all of the time, but most of the time we're in rotating around it, living our lives, and as planet Earth, creating all the wonderful things from the fact that from time to time we get this source of high inspiration. So most of the life we are as planet Earth. It's planetary level. So we have the higher level, which is the sun level. We have the normal level, which is planetary level, but we also have another level, which is the moon level, which is a lower level to that. And the moon level, well, imagine what the moon does. We have the sun, we have planet Earth, and the moon revolves around planet Earth. Okay, so for every circle that planet Earth does, literally the moon, yes, does I think 12 circles. Yes, for every planetary year, there are 12 cycles of the moon. Okay, Now, the moon is, and now everything is an analogy, okay? Everything is an analogy. When I say planet Earth, I mean now maintaining our own lives and being able to take something good in, like the sunlight, and create things with it and be with it and live it, okay? Normal life, planetary level, planet Earth. But the moon level is, you know, I'll show you the difference between the card of the sun and the card of the moon, okay? So if the sun is being in the center of things and driving our own chariot and being full of power, full of inspiration, the moon is a state in which this lady is carried away by two dragons, and she doesn't have even a harness. She doesn't even try to be in control on what is happening. The moon has constant phases. It's not something constant, but it's something that's always, always, always changed. And this is the time of being carried away. If we're talking about confusion, yes? So it can be a good thing if it's in the center of us and something is generating energy, but confusion can also be totally spiraled away, well, by everything that comes now to distract us or take us away. The moon has lots of good things in it, yes? I'm just talking now about the fact that the moon doesn't have its own atmosphere, and it doesn't have its own enough gravity power, yes? And because of that, it revolves around something else. And this, of course, is an analogy to a state which we do not want to be in now. Yes, because we can easily get swiped away, yes, to go into a roller coaster around everything that is strong enough to take us in its course, as the news, as panic, as, you know, there's so many things now that we can find ourselves, instead of being in the sun level, the center of things, or even the planet level, which is, okay, dealing with life, we can easily find ourselves going into spirals, which is huge, a waste of our energy, and revolving around things which are not the good nutrition for us. We can easily do that. This is why I think we really need to use our consciousness and ask ourselves, yes, with consciousness, what are we revolving around now? Yes, am I in my center, or at least revolving around the things that give me brightness? Yes. Or am I emotionally reactive and revolving around things that do not give me this high enhancement? And if I'm aware of that, this immediately also can bring me to a different state. Yes. Well, what am I revolving around now? What am I wasting my time and my energy? Yes. Is it about something really, really, really important, which gives me good nutrition as the sun? Or, you know, or am I like wasting my times regurgitating the news and other people's panic, which is definitely not where I want him to be.